Hello and welcome to the life path reading for master number 11. Let's just talk real quick about life path. So your life path number represents traits that you were born with in this life. You come into the world with them, and in general the life path talks about an opportunity that is available to you. So as an 11, we know that's a master number, which means that it possesses a certain amount of potential and energy that seems to be an expansion on the other numbers and the energy they possess. So as an 11, you fluctuate between being a dreamer versus having motivation. So as a dreamer, it means that you have all these brilliant ideas and ways to inspire people, but you are never able to bring those down in the reality to actually share those with others to act as a light in their life. But motivation is when you have the ability to share the insight that you have to the point that you are actually able to get others to move in the direction that you have just inspired them to do so. So 11s can either be all in their head, or they can bring down what they envision and they can make it come alive for themselves and others to the point that you become like a light in the world. Okay, so this is a 5-card spread. We have your current position, what is supporting you, what is challenging you, what lies dormant in your subconscious or something that is hidden from you. And lastly, we have what Spirit is guiding you to do. And then we have 3 cards from the Starseed Oracle, followed by 2 cards from the Love and Abundance. No, 2 cards which are Love and Abundance, but they are from the Soul's Journey. All right, so current position is the Page of Wands. So this card talks about being enthusiastic, super creative, and it talks about being optimistic. This is like the initial spark, the initial desire, right? It talks about exciting news, opportunities. This is when you are just so amped up on energy and you just want your creativity to soar. This is when you're full of passion, right? So as a page, you haven't really put it into place, but you've just gotten a spark and you were excited to move forward. So that can talk about your current position in life, right? But the challenge for the page is to finish what you start. So maybe as an 11, maybe you've just begun something that you were extremely passionate about, you're really connected to. It's something that's coming from your heart, and the Page of Swords is saying you have this spark, this energy, but your challenge as a page is to actually finish, to follow through with that, right? So this is what strengthens you, is the moon. The moon tells you to listen to your intuition and to pay attention to the divine signs. It says if you are worrying about what to do with this spark, this energy, this idea, or how to move forward, let go of your fears, right? Tap into your intuition to understand what it is that is possibly hidden from you, because life is a journey of the soul, and revelations will come to you when you're able to tap into the deepest parts of yourself, right? So once you're able to get that revelation, everything will be clear. But don't look for the answers in the outside 3D world. Tap into the gifts that you already have and possess, okay? Now, we've got a spark. We're asked to tap in order to clarify what to do with this newfound energy. And then we have something to challenge or strengthen us. Now we have the Ten of Pentacles, which is a beautiful card. It talks about financial security for yourself and for your family. It talks about possible retirement. It talks about potential inheritance. But in general, it just talks about peace and contentment in life. And so maybe this spark, maybe you have a desire for a life where you have no worries, you have no fears, Everything is in place, not only for you, but also for your loved ones, right? And so you have this spark. You need to tap into your intuition to release your fears, to understand the answers and the revelations that are coming to you, because you have a true desire to get this Ten of Pentacles. And it's in reach because it showed up in your reading. Now, what you don't know, or what's hiding from you, is the High Priestess. The High Priestess talks about meditating, discovering what your soul desires, right? So this is almost a reflection of the moon, getting quiet, going within. It talks about that this may not be a time for action. So this is contradicting the Page of Wands, which pushes you in a state of action. But the High Priestess is saying, hold on, you have the ability to reflect and to go within. Don't act too quickly, because you want the Ten of Pentacles. You want to achieve something that is almost like a legacy, not for you, but for those that you love. So take your time as you do this and do it right. It talks about your ability to trust your wisdom while also developing your intuitive gifts. Okay, sometimes we say that the High Priestess is psychic. Nonetheless, intuitive gifts are a part of that High Priestess energy. And so the Page of Wands is necessary because it triggers your passion, but don't follow it without incorporating the gifts of your soul that you have been given. Remember, 11s, you are a master number. Not only do you have the ability to motivate yourself, but you are a light in the world. And in order to do that, you have to tap into your spirit and your soul self. Now, the last card that you have is almost like your spiritual guidance or your spiritual nudge. In 11s, you got the Emperor. This talks about being logical, being organized in order to create the success that you envision. It talks about taking charge of situations, and accepting a position of leadership in your life or in anything that you are involved in. Realize that you have the potential to lead, and as an 11, you motivate, you inspire others. 11s are very understanding. They're sensitive, they're considerate, they're inspirational energies in people when they are operating in their higher selves. Now, when an 11 is not high vibing and they're kind of low vibing, they may be shy or withdrawn, kind of vindictive, misunderstood, impractical, lacking confidence, or self-critical and self-conscious. So think about the space that you're in and realize where you are, because the Emperor is asking you to lead, to take charge, to be a force not just for self but also for others. It says that success is near, but you've got to be logical and you've got to be organized. So thank goodness for the spark that the Page of Wands got you, but you need to go from the Page to the Emperor. And how are you going to do that? Intuition, according to the moon and the High Priestess. You've got to be structured and you've got to be disciplined as you work to achieve this Ten of Pentacles. The 3 star seed cards we have, it talks about anger, conflict, and softening to love. Anger, conflict, softening to love. So as you make these adjustments, not everybody understands why you're doing what you're doing or where you're going, right? But that's not for them to know. That's just for you to push through. And so realize that any resistance you get from others as you push for this Ten of Pentacles and as you adapt to these intuitive type of energies, realize that conflict is going to come because people just don't know your journey or your experience. So soften to love, right? Love is acceptance, fear is rejection. Just soften to any troubles that come your way and realize that they're necessary. You don't need to spend much time on conflict around you because you have something to accomplish. This card talks about transmission and activation. And so your spiritual gifts are being activated, but you have to embrace and open yourself up to them as you go through this. So this is only a 5-card spread, and 3 of your cards are majors, which means that this moment in life is massive, right? This is unique to you. These are not everyday energies. You are being called to achieve and to do things that are higher, right? Because it's not just for self, but it's for others. And so if you can endure this energy with grace, you will be a better influence for those around you needing support or help. Any of us that are alive and existing, we are really here not for ourselves, but because we have something to give, to offer, to say, to do for another. And as a master number, nothing else is more true than that for you, right? So then we have karmic relationships. This talks about soul growing, conflict. So some relationships are supposed to teach us something. Some relationships are just a continuation of something that we began in a past life. And so we have conflict twice, right? And so if there is a relationship that is triggering you, if they're a relationship that seems heavy, dark, or just puts you in this space where you cannot be prosperous, realize that karma is at play. And the quicker you can accept the fact that this is deep and it's a soul level connection, the quicker you can learn whatever it is you have to learn and move past it. So the two messages from the soul's journey, we have love and abundance. So love says, I commit to the practice of seeing the good in all things. So if a relationship is a challenge, if a new mission, a new project is a challenge, find the good, leave the bad, right? Because you need to move forward. But as long as you hang on to the bad, you stay stuck. You want to collect all the good that you can so that you can progress onward. You have something to accomplish and something to do. And then lastly, we have abundance. It says, I'm a limitless being, and I can manifest whatever I desire in this physical reality. And so currently your desire is the Ten of Pentacles. You want all things in the earthly realm. You want it all. And that's absolutely okay. But you cannot do it if you neglect your intuition and your soul and your spirit self, right? So yes, you can have everything, but you also have to tap into everything that's inside of you to make this come about, right? And master number is 11. It's not easy to be a master number. There's a certain amount of potential or energy that comes with that. And at times it may seem like a cross to bear, but you only get what you can handle. Okay, so shift your perspective. Realize that you have things tucked inside of you that need to be released, tapped into, and activated. But that anything you go through, it's because you are going to grow through it, right? So accept it, embrace it with love, and find the good in it. All right, thank you, 11s.